All right, y'all. I'm not gonna start this live with my normal music because this is gonna be a rather informative vlog that I'm going to give to you guys. So I think TikTok is getting ready to go, is what I'm thinking. I think that they're getting ready to change over TikTok to some kind of MAGA talk or something. Anyway, ain't nobody worried about that. I wanted to come and give people, in particular people that are searching for spiritual knowledge, I wanted to come and give y'all a bit of information, something that I did not know before I kind of got to know some areas of the spiritual community. There are a lot of fantastic vloggers on here who speak of spiritual knowledge. I am one of them. But there are the parasites. So, welcome to YouTube, where the parasites crawl and roam and prey. Prey. And they pretty much have the same MO. They pretty much do the same thing month after month. And if you're familiar with this story, the whole story, I just want to give you guys a quick update on what's going on with me personally, High Priestess Jamila. So basically, since this whole debacle started last year in July, where the parasites were playing paparazzi, um, and by the way, stay tuned for a live where I'm going to be talking about how I deconstructed or I tore down the whole thing in Georgia so that I can go home or come home. Okay, me and my mother did. Okay, so I'll be talking about that, how interesting that is. Um, but ever since the whole thing that happened last year, I have had a steady and consistent stream of income to my business from clients. Shout out to my clients. If they even watch YouTube, a lot of my clients are way too sensitive to watch YouTube, and the ones that are smart definitely they don't watch the parasites. Fast forward to now, I have had a consistent stream of income through my business, whether or not it's been for readings or spiritual work. I am currently saving up for my place that I'll be moving into very soon. So, just to give you guys an update, because what a parasite is going to say is, oh, that person is homeless and ugly. That's what parasites say. Okay. But I kind of wanted to give you guys the lowdown. I've been back home in Kansas City, Missouri since August of 19th of 2025. And I've basically been still running the business, working my part-time job um, with the psychic hotline and looking for a place to live. Okay, that I will be moving into soon. I've narrowed it down to a couple of different places, but you know. So let's talk about the YouTube parasites. Let's skip the first of the month, the second of the month, the first through about the sixth or the seventh of the month of every month. And let's go to now, right? Right now, what you're witnessing is them crashing out. This is when they go through their destructive phase. This is when they get desperate. This is when they do anything and everything that they can, no matter how ridiculous it looks or sounds, to try to get at somebody's energy. Yes, that is what parasites do. We call them human parasites. They are constantly looking for your energy. When they are going through their destructive phase, they always tell you how you have no power. Everybody has power every single day. Just to let you guys know, if somebody tells you that you don't have any power, it is because they want what you have and they can't get it. That's a fact. Everybody in this world that's walking around, including insects, possums, cats, dogs, birds. Birds have an awesome power, unless they're house birds, and birds can fly. Okay, so they have an awesome power. So do some insects. They have an amazing power. Every person in this world, everybody, no matter what it is that's going on, no matter what somebody says, has their own personal power. When a parasite tells you that you don't have any power, congratulations, give yourself a pat on the back. That means that you have successfully protected your energy. This is usually what they say when they go through their destructive phase of failure. This is really common in men. You see more men, more male human parasites doing that. But you see some women doing it as well. They start crashing out, they start freaking out because they're mad and they're upset because they were not able to take your power. They either need your power because they don't feel that they have enough of their own. Parasites typically consume, and never contribute a damn thing. And sometimes they're on drugs. Okay. So, some people that have drug problems, they tend to carry on the metabolic and metaphysic, you know, um, doings or cycles of a parasite. And so, again, it's always towards the end of the month, somewhere around the 21st, 22nd. This is when they really start crashing out because from the 1st until the 20th, they have failed at stealing other people's power. Now, why these particular humanoids, continuously go through this cycle while getting nowhere, while on a hamster wheel? Why do they continue to do it while suffering nothing but failure? While everybody that they're trying to feed on, okay, if they're doing the right thing, always gets what they want. I have no idea. But the latest and greatest, biggest thing was to form a group. Oh my God. If you've never seen the next level multiplication of stupidity, then there you have it. So they believe that because they're in a group, that this means that this is going to bring them more. But in reality, it does nothing. Because whatever it is that they want to do, whatever goal that they have, their energy of codependency always fails them. Every month from the 1st until the 20th, they're trying to feed. Many of them are trying to do it via meditation or through intention, and it fails. So usually what they've decided to start doing was to consistently make YouTube videos about certain people. Sometimes it's famous people in the news. Sometimes it's world events that are going on, global events. But it's usually always some kind of target on another person. When they fail to get what they want to get from the 1st through the 20th of the month, this is when they really get aggravated and they go through their destructive phase. This is when they're doing all sorts of weird things that make absolutely no sense to anyone that knows the simple rules of manifestation. It would be no different whether or not you're an entrepreneur or working a regular job. The first rule of manifestation is to speak about, focus on what it is that you want. A parasite is too stupid because they're busy trying to get it from someone else. A parasite is too stupid to manifest on their own without crashing out and embarrassing themselves by latching on to other people, complete strangers on the internet, mind you. And they just keep going. And they just keep going and going and going in a constant daily spin of utter failure. Now, if you are a person that is very sensitive and you are not protected, then they probably could get minute amounts of your energy and life force because everybody's personal power is personal to them. It's almost like instead of having a gold nugget, they get the flake. Then they'll try to call that spirituality. The one cardinal rule that these people don't understand, which is one of the reasons why the Cancer, the Taurus, Leo, and it's one other zodiac sign y'all have to remind me is considered to be the most powerful when it comes to manifesting. Okay. The cardinal rule of manifestation. You do not think about or speak about the things that you don't want. What does a parasite do to get what they want or to try to get what they want while failing? They speak about what they know about, which is poverty, failure, and sickness. Who are they usually speaking about that to? Their target. They're usually wishing some kind of sickness, wishing some kind of poverty, wishing that on them. They don't understand that there is a difference between being a non manifester and someone that is innately stupid that continues to speak against their salvation versus a person that is taking precautions and sending those things back to them. It's ridiculous. So, what we have been going through on YouTube has been a constant cycle of parasitic failure, From the first of the month, about the first 3 weeks of every month, the parasites are attempting to break the cycles in their lives. Now, are they ever going to break those negative cycles and patterns in their lives by attacking people? No. Are they ever going to do it by scapegoating on people? No. Are they ever going to do it by projecting to other people? No, never going to do it. Are they ever going to do it by trying to feed off of other people? No, never going to do it. So what they end up doing is failing the first 3 weeks of every month. And then at the end of the month, they become destructive and angry. This is basically what we're looking at every single month. Why have I been their target? Because I have a lot of light energy, a lot of energy that I protect, a lot of healing energy that I protect. When they can't get what you got, now they want to try to destroy you as a person. Doesn't get them anywhere. Never is going to help them. But they keep doing it and they keep going while telling other people that know how to manifest what they need to do. So you're supposed to reduce yourself, especially a lot of these parasitic black men. You're supposed to reduce yourself and be on welfare so that they can continue to be parasites, and some of them are on drugs. It's the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my life, and you just keep seeing it. The only reason why I even know about it is because I'm a telepath. Constantly chanting my name as if I'm some kind of energizer fucking battery, while in the meantime telling me that I'm somehow dried up and nothing, but that is simply because these people cannot get to my energy. It's really honestly the pathological and perpetual failure constantly and consistently of these people that want to call themselves vampires. So, this is what you're going to run into on YouTube. And the only thing I can say is just protect your energy. You know, that's it. Protect your energy from people like that. Okay. It's a consistent, and they're very consistent with it, but that doesn't mean that it actually works. Now, pretty soon I'll be in my own home, and they'll continue until another one of them gets sick and dies. It's sad, but it's the truth. I think it's because I eat too much garlic. I love garlic and green olives. Green olives will protect you from the evil eye. They're very healing. You know, the green olives with the pimentos in them. Mm-hmm. It's sad. And I've warned people. I have warned people to not watch them. They can't get to nobody's energy through me because I'm protecting everybody's energy. But they'd like to convince you of otherwise. By doing what? Calling somebody a bitch. Oh my goodness gracious. Boy, will it be so much better when these people decide to get off of YouTube. I swear. And it's so weird when you watch them go because they literally become so enamored with you that they just talk about you as if they know you, they've met you, and it's really sad. And right now what they're doing is they're hiding behind jokes, trying to be entertaining, definitely desperately using my name and image, been doing it for quite some time, still haven't really gotten anywhere. There was only one that got somewhere, and that was only because he was dating me, but it came with a cost. I just don't get it. I really don't. But that's what you're dealing with here on YouTube. And I'm going to make sure that I put this live as the front page on my channel. Any spiritual person that's coming to YouTube, they are all out there. They are out and about, and they believe that they can steal people's energy. They believe that they can steal people's destiny while accusing other people of stealing from them. It's really weird. I had somebody years ago tell me that I was trying to be them or stealing their ideas because I was doing a tarot card reading. So, to this particular parasite, apparently that parasite invented tarot cards, apparently. Okay, so it just, you know. So, just to warn y'all, it's ridiculous. It really is. And it's really embarrassing when you see a lot of black people doing that. And then when you see in recent news how Trump has been just so disrespectful to black women, it's ridiculous. But I don't really take that, like that recent thing with that person. I forget her name. The one that they're saying he said is very low IQ. Do I believe that he's talking about all black women? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I think he's talking about that one particular person. However, he did try to force everybody to mourn for a person that had nothing but a bunch of racist views. So, you know, I think that there's a lot of people in this world that don't know much about black people except for in social media. And when you get black people in general, and I'm not saying that it's right to be racist at all, people are different. That's just like Native American people are different, Korean people are different, people are just different. So I'm not trying to justify racism at all. Okay. But, when literally 70% of black people in social media get views and attention simply because they are acting a stone cold fool all the time, and that is the basis and the foundation of their content, it kind of makes you wonder. And it can be very scary. I watch a lot of very quality content, very good quality content. And some of those are black men. If you guys want to look at an amazing black man, go and subscribe to Jordan the Stallion. Super Sly is pretty cool too. I like watching him. 70% of black people that are in social media, I'd say 70% of blacks in social media are doing the dumbest things. And I'd say that 70% probably in the spiritual community are possibly up to no good. And I'm just going to tell y'all the truth about that. This is partially the reason why so many people. Um, oh, there's a. Oh, you touched me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, moth. But this is mainly one of the reasons why most people, um, you know, have a low opinion of blacks. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people, they're not going to say it publicly because it's really not the politically correct thing to say. It really isn't. But you know black people don't need to ever be focused on white crime. Black people need to focus on black crimes that they commit, and they need to quit pointing the finger. Okay, every single time something happens, they want to point out, oh, well, look, white people are just as bad as us. And it's like, well, first of all, speak for yourself, because I'm nothing like you. All black people don't behave that way. All black people don't operate that way. Okay. And nobody's content should ever be following somebody around, making up stories about them, harassing them, like the Truman Show. That shouldn't be happening, but it is. You know what I mean? So, I'm just telling you, YouTube is filled with parasites. Um, it just is what it is. They're willing to do just about anything to get some kind of reaction out of you. Reacting to them doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting your energy, because if they had anybody's energy, which is impossible, I'm so tired of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm so tired of that. I really am. What they do is they more so dis they end up discombobulating people by either trying to use scare tactics against them, or either just lying altogether, just lying about whatever it is that they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just basically, it's just totally ridiculous. And it is one of the most irritating things. And literally, these people have no connection, but they are constantly trying to form a connection in some kind of way. And it is ridiculous. Now, unless you are dating a parasite, because I've dealt with that. I've always been a person that has always been able to manifest a job. And then right now, I'm being told by somebody that's speaking like a pedophile, as if I'm old or something. Somebody that began grooming a young girl on YouTube and decided to try to deflect away from that grooming by making up stories about me, and then getting someone that was angry at me to collaborate the story, but that person was definitely lying. And people will do that, and everybody knows that it's a lie, but it's just the point. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just like, honestly, um, it's really time for these people to go ahead and leave YouTube, because they have embarrassed themselves to all get out. The tactics that they have used have been illegal. Um, and eventually, you know what I'm saying? But you do have to be careful of parasites. And the reason why is because if you're a really sensitive person, like, the reason why, I'm going to tell y'all the number one reason why the parasites were able to ever get at me, because otherwise they knew I wouldn't pay them any attention. It was by attacking my children from the beginning. Parasites were able to get my attention by making false defects calls, which I believe that it's been done so much. If they look back in record, of all of the unsubstantiated claims, I believe that that is going to be pivotal in prosecuting these people in a court of law eventually. So, filing false defects reports against a person is factually illegal. And then it's also, but it's one of their tactics of attack. So if you're a person that's really sensitive, really scary, for me, it's always been, just nothing to me, even though I didn't like the fact that my time was being taken up, time that I could have been spending time with my family, time that I could have been working, time that I could have been doing other things. So and honestly, when it comes to them, what I will say is that they're too embarrassed to admit to the truth, but yet they're too embarrassed to walk away. I found that among people, no matter what type of person it is, unless you're kind of like me, if you make a mistake, you can admit to it. There are a lot of people that are not going to admit to it. And then also, there's been so many laws broken that they're never going to admit to it. They're going to stay very much in denial, even though we can see how they've broken the law. So I actually dated accidentally one of the parasites. Um, and he's literally got like what I consider to be revenge porn of me on his wall. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. Nobody should have to degrade themselves in that way, just to get a little bit of attention in social media. Nobody, but they will go through those great lengths. I know that when I started this channel, I put up readings and that was it. My channel has went through quite a bit of false flagging. These people spend hours and hours and hours staying where they're at, not growing, not really, not growing, not making any real money. But yet, some of these people are willing to throw themselves into the fire just so that they can mess with other people. So, I've kind of noticed the false flagging of this channel. And you can tell that they're watching because what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll watch and they'll listen, but they're flagging, right? So that's why I have to be careful on this channel because what I have to basically do is just let go of all of the subscribers that I had and just build on top of this channel. It wouldn't be the first channel on YouTube that this has happened to. And basically I just have to build on top of this channel, which is going through all of the SEO again, going through all of the, rigmarole, and and then I'll get I'll get new and more subscribers, but it kind of hasn't been a priority because, to be honest with you, uh getting views in social media, I get enough views to get clients. I don't need like goo gobs of views to get clients. Okay, that's a person with a very limited belief system that believes that you have to get a whole slew of views to get clients, because that's not what always happens. It's not. Okay, getting attention, this so-called networking that they think that they're doing. Uh, I don't want to do spiritual work for parasites. I'm not interested in doing any spiritual work for anybody that's parasitic. No, thank you. They have some really, really unhealthy attachments. Really, they do, especially when, you see some of the behaviors that they exude, which is beyond any type of human behavior that I have ever seen in my life. And it's just, it's very weird. That's typically how a lot of people describe them, especially the recent thing where they were trying to convince me and other people that my face is not my face. My face is actually not my face. My face is a filter, a Snapchat filter. Even though if you look back several years on this channel, you'll see the same face before Snapchat was even invented. There was no Snapchat back then. what I can suggest is, people taking heed to these types of folks and understanding what it is that you're dealing with. Anytime someone's in social media and you say hi to them and you latch on to them, you pretend to be their friend, and then you switch up on them, and then you start lying on them, congratulations, you are a parasite. And then still latched on after several years, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. You know what I mean? So, anyway, if you are seeing this on the homepage of my channel, make sure that you are very careful out here. There are ways that you can guard yourself against it. Please be very careful trusting some of these people. I have learned my lesson to not necessarily trust people in social media, and it just is what it is. Okay. For me, I have been in business for well over 10 years doing spiritual work for people, and I do have testimonials as well as word of mouth that will prove that. So, anyway, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. If you are watching this video, make sure that you hit the thumbs up on this video, and make sure that you stay away from parasitic people because they're out there and they have nothing intelligent, nor do they have anything positive to say to anybody. It's usually something very negative. Okay. All right, guys, I gotta go. It's milk and cookie time. I'm getting ready to sit up here and eat some milk and cookies and try to watch a movie or something. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Sunday. And if you feel like somebody is after your energy, trust me, I know how to deal with it. Okay, so you guys can contact me. And yes, every image that you see of me, even when you see me on camera, that's actually me. Okay, so I've been dealing with parasites for 10 years and I still look basically the same except for gray hairs, but that's because it's been 10 years. Okay, and then I've also been through some stuff, probably stress, but my hair is very thick, it's very healthy. My body is very thick and healthy. I don't have any health problems. I don't have any mental problems. So I've done a great job of taking care of myself as well as keeping my children safe while they have been under threat. By the way, be very careful on here with your children because these same people that came from the same camp do attack people's children. All right, guys, I will see y'all later. It's been High Priestess Jamila. Bye.